incredibly admired in the industry and considered an interior design specialist. So we would love to hear from you today all things about creating your vision. I know that we've got some amazing mood boards, mood trays over there to get cracking into, but just really creating a vision, understanding what trends are really available to us and the new materials out there. Shall we?
Let's get into it.
Cool.
Okay, so creating the dream. Some of you will probably know exactly what you want from a bathroom. Some of you might have no idea at all. Some of you might have so many ideas that you don't know which one to pick. The first point is to gather your inspiration. So I think just look absolutely everywhere. In your favourite magazines, that's a good place to start. Look on Instagram, the brands that you love. Look on Pinterest and just start saving images. Create a Pinterest board, save your Insta images, even cut up and tear out your magazines. I promise I don't mind. But just collect every single image that speaks to you. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bathroom image. It could be a fashion image. It could be, something that is a picture of a landscape that you really like the colour palette of. Anything that attracts your eye, collect it, collate it, and keep it on file, whether it's a hard copy or whether it's digital. So once you've gathered all your imagery, and this process, you don't have to do it all in one sitting. This can take weeks, months, however long you have to plan your bathroom, the better, I think. Once you've got everything together, it's time to turn it into a visual plan. And I think the ultimate way to create a visual plan is with a mood board. Now, all interior designers and decorators will use mood boards in one form or another. It's really the ultimate way to play, to create your look. It'll really save you time and money, because if you think about it on a small scale, you're piecing together the styles or even the colour palettes and the materials that you like. You're seeing what works next to each other without the outlay of buying all the tiles and then having them installed and realising, actually, this doesn't match my vanity at all. So really, that's why I say collect as much visual information references as you can and then start playing with a mood board.
In Pinterest, there's so many different trends that are coming through. And to transform that into the mood board, do you look for any common ground in your style to ensure that you're really drilling down into a real signature look?
Absolutely. Something to do with your visual references. Lay it all out in front of you. I really love putting everything on the floor. And scan over it and see if there are any themes that are coming through. You might realise that you have got quite a lot of brass finishes coming through. Or you might see that you thought you wanted a white bathroom, but actually you prefer something that is either a soft grey or a pale green, if that's coming through in your imagery. So look for common threads, and that is a really good way to narrow down what your style is, because you were attracted to these, you've collected everything, so filter down to what you have the most of appearing throughout your collection. So 3 different ways that you can create a mood board. First of all, the classic mood board. We use these in our work all the time. All our stylists have them in their offices, and they pin up pictures, they pin up product samples, or it could be even, a leaf. And it's really about playing with your fine edit of all the bits and pieces that you love. A mood board is really handy because you can take it from room to room. So if you are renovating, for example, you've gutted the bathroom space that you'll use and it's empty, move your mood board into the space and just live with it for a few days and see how the different finishes or the different images catch the light, see how they look, see how they feel, because at different times of day, different colours, different textures will look different. Well, I live near a house that was painted recently, and it was painted in a grey, but at a certain time of day it looks purple, and I really feel for these people because I don't think they had intended to paint their house purple. It's just unfortunate that for a few hours that's exactly what it looks like. So really live with the colours or the samples, the finishes that you think you might want to use for a little while before you install them, because it's really easy to swap a sample. It's not so easy to swap out a bathroom. So if you want something a bit bigger than a mood board, and something that I think is perfect for bathrooms is the mood tray. Now it can be in a box, it can be in a tray, and I love these because you can include hardware samples, or you can include more solid finishes if you've got tiles, or even, stone vanity tops. You can't pin those on a board. That's a bit tricky. But you can keep them in a tray. So this is something that is my preferred way of designing. Also, it gives you the tactile reference, so you can touch and feel and see how things work all together. And another great thing about the mood tray, like the mood board, you can move it around. You can keep this in your bathroom space to see how everything will work as well. The third one is a mood book. Now, if you go for a mood book, I recommend getting something with sleeves in it. You can get the plastic sleeves or the little folders on the back so that you can slide in your samples. So you can still fit in some samples. Hardware might be a little bit tricky. But this is a really great way to take your mood board out and about with you. If you are out shopping or you're out sourcing to find finishes or pieces for your bathroom, bring the mood book with you, because then you can compare. You can take a paint swatch that you think you'll have your vanity painted or the walls painted, take that in and compare it to the tiles you might want to put on your floor or on your wall, or even take in the picture of the bath that you have in mind so that you can see, will it work with these taps that I'm looking at? Like I said before, it really will save you thousands, even by spending a few dollars on buying samples, because most companies will let you buy samples. It will save you so much time and money and effort in the end. With a mood book, or you could take your mood board or your mood tray, also keep with it your product and suppliers list. It's a good idea to keep a floor plan in it. What else have I put here? The budget. It's so important to keep everything all together. And I think creating a space is such a visual thing that although it's good to have your spreadsheets, you do need the visual reference as well. And I just love to keep it all together. That way it's, you can just pick it up and you can go and everything's all in the one spot if you need to reference something. Will these towels work with this scheme, or can I afford it? It's all together. It just makes it really easy.
And so often it does come down to the, can I afford that?
That's it, exactly. And with the can I afford it, we do mood boards in Real Living magazine at the end of every house story. And with the style team who puts these together, sometimes they'll slip something through and I'll just say, Jesus, ladies, this is really expensive. Like this is not real living. There are the things that you splurge on, definitely. But I always say to them, would you pay that for that? Or would you save up to buy that piece? And if so, yes, it can stay. And if it's a bit ambitious, then we swap it out. And that's what people do in design projects as well. If you find something you love the look of, that's great. Usually there will be a more affordable option. And I think even at Reece, you've got so many products, you've got so many different price points that you can go into Reece and you can ask them, look, this is what I love the look of, but this is my budget. How can you help me?
But it's also the thing of ensuring that you're having it for a long period of time, and
Definitely.
it stands the test of time, which is something that we always pride ourselves on. But that's for later. We won't talk about products.
Exactly.
We want to keep to design.
Next slide. Slide. So what's trending? This is the fun stuff. So in terms of colours, at the moment, it's really neutral. That won't be a surprise to anyone, I'm sure. White will always be in fashion, especially in bathrooms. But a definite colour that's coming through is a sage green or a silvery green. And it's being treated almost like a neutral. It looks really great on walls, but also on vanities. So you can have vanities sprayed or finished in any colour you like, but it's a lovely way to bring some gentle colour through. Also, the earthy tones are really trending as well, and perhaps that comes through to material.
Certainly. And beige,
I know. In design, it's almost like it's a seesaw. So we've come from quite minimalistic, very white, almost clinical, which, you know, still has its place and is still really popular. But when trends do seesaw, so we're finding people are wanting something warmer, a little bit softer, and that's where the beige comes through.
And especially when we think about it in the context of the bathroom space, it's all about being inviting and creating warmth and depth. So it makes perfect sense.
Definitely. And don't be freaked out by beige. You can have a warmer white, and it's that's not to say that, you know, we're going back to...
Certainly.
You know, the 80s with cream walls and,
Oh.
you know, that's not what this is. It really is a textural thing. Here we go. So finishes. Speaking about texture, some of the trends that I'm seeing come through, Tadilact, or a beautiful plaster finish, is something we're seeing a lot in bathrooms. So it's really earthy, it's very soft, it's a treatment that is given mostly to walls, but you can have it in, you know, built-in niches. It's not rough, but it is textural, and it's quite a raw finish that is being used in day spas. It's really popular, and actually I've seen it like in some of the South African homes that we feature. It's really popular there, and it's beautiful. It's beachy, but also lends itself well to, you know, country homes or something that is after a bit more of a natural finish.
And it works to a curve, right? It can work in a curve as well.
Definitely. They love the curves. It's very organic.
Oh, yeah, lovely.
So other things that are trending are small white tiles. I'm not talking the mosaic size, but more, you know, a handmade tile. It's got a gentle finish, and whether you choose gloss or matte, it's another way to add what we call decorative interest to a bathroom. So if you do want to go all white, but you don't want it to be boring, go for something with a bit of texture, and these tiles are really trending. Coloured marble is really popular at the moment.
So beautiful.
All marble is always popular, but right now we're seeing green marbles, marbles that are pink or really deep red even come through, and again it's being balanced or offset with white so that the marble is the feature. We have got travertine. That also ties into the natural element. So if you don't want marble but you do want a stone, a travertine look, and even if you go for travertine style or colourway in your tiles, it's earthy, it's warm, it's friendly. It's a lovely finish to use in bathrooms. And then in terms of tapware, it's all about black, it's all about brass. And even the evolution of black, if you love the look of black tapware, but you want something a bit more classic, sometimes you can go into an aged bronze, which looks black, it's just a little bit softer and really suits a classic style. Hotels. Who doesn't love staying in a fancy hotel? So we've got 4 great hotels up here that we've featured, and I love taking inspiration from hotel rooms because they are created to give you the ultimate stay and the ultimate escape. So when you're staying at a hotel, really look at all the details and take pictures of absolutely everything, because you never know when you get back home what you'll remember or what you'll have missed, and it's a really great way to get inspiration. Day spas as well. This is definitely a big trend in bathrooms because obviously it's where you go to relax and be pampered, and you know you can't really afford to go to a day spa every week. That's a bit pricey. But you can create your own day spa at home, create your dream bathroom.
Yeah, and the thing is too, it's really quite easy to achieve in terms of like it's final styling for the bathroom and injecting greenery, but also just ensuring that you're having some beautiful wood textures coming through. And so often it's all about like being polished wood textures, but really it's that whole, it doesn't have to be perfect to be right. And I think that's what's really incredible about it.
Exactly. And like you said about the finishing touches, invest in some beautiful fluffy towels and the things that you touch quite a bit. So tapware is really important because that is what you're touching every day. You're probably only touching the tiles and the shower screen when you're cleaning them. But the taps, you'll touch them every day. So make sure they have a really lovely feel that, you know, that does make you feel calm and happy to be in that space. Traditional is the ultimate timeless trend. It will always be in fashion. Well, I guess that's a contrast because it's timeless. And References here are freestanding baths. If you've got the room, I say go for it. Also, marble is a classic. The tapware, beautiful chrome or nickel tapware is always on trend.
Yeah, and even brass as well, we see is so popular in there. And ensuring, and I think in the next slide, Neoclassic, and how we really see traditional bathrooms and these older period homes evolving into that next stage. And I think that this idea of traditional merging with more modern lines in the bathroom space is really exciting.
Absolutely. And something it's not just restricted to traditional styles, but I love having art in the bathroom, and you can go to framers and you can tell them, look, it's going to be in a bathroom, and they'll know to frame it in a particular way that it will help protect the piece from steam and humidity. But it's a really fun thing that you can put in the bathroom to liven it up a bit, because often we have expanses of wall space. So the final trend we've got here is the Neoclassic. So like Kelly was saying, brass is definitely coming into this trend. Neoclassic is in the new classic, so it's even touching on Art Deco. That is a style that's going to be huge. It is coming, well, it's already here, and you can see it in some of these pictures. You've got the archways, the curves, the brass. The flooring in this image is a terrazzo base with the tiles inlaid, and terrazzo is really, really popular. And you don't have to have a whole terrazzo floor laid. You can get a tiled finish, or even just get the accessories to put on your vanity and on your bathtub. So Neoclassic is perhaps it's a bit more fun, a bit more playful than traditional, a bit more adventurous.
But it allows you to play in the space, and I think that that's what's really important about it, is when you do have an older home, you can kind of flex up, flex down.
Definitely. And I think that's a really good point about, look at the style of your home, even the period. If you've got a Victorian home, or if you've got a 70s home, or a 50s home, it's important to consider the vernacular of the types of homes in your suburb, in your area, especially if you're looking to resell, which perhaps Chloe will touch on, I don't know.
Maybe.
It's a good idea to have a few little elements. So whether it is, an Art Deco style tap to reference the period of the home, it's a nice way to tie it to the rest of your home. So you need to resolve the look, and that is to tie it in with the rest of your home, tie it in with the rest of your style. So some things that you can do to make this easier is echo shape. So if you've got a gooseneck tap in the kitchen, perhaps you could echo it in the bathroom. If you've got a particular colour palette throughout your house, reference it in the bathroom. You don't have to have, if you've got navy feature walls, you don't have to paint your bathroom navy, but perhaps go for navy towels. It's a nice way to just connect them. Another point is to stick to the same style, like I said before, echoing what the period of the home is like. It can be a bit jarring if you've decorated your whole house in a really slick contemporary fashion, and then you come to the bathroom and it's really super traditional. You can contrast, and you could have like a 50-50, so at least you see the flow through, but make sure it all works together. But ultimately, make sure it's a design that you love, because you will be in there multiple times a day, and hopefully you'll have it for a long time.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think that is, make a design that you love, and what a really great segue, I think. Thanks.